Greetings, fellow citizens of the Friend Zone. Tiki here,
And Jacob Wile too.
and welcome to the season finale of Star vs. Force of Evil and our thoughts on Tiki's Universe, our umbrella show for various current animated programming, including Milo Murphy's Law, coming up very soon, Jacob, more sooner than I can anticipate. Samurai Jack, very soon. Tangled,
Yeah.
the animated series. DuckTales, woohoo.
Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6, yes. Jacob, I feel like they literally should just call the new DuckTales kind of like the classy version of Teen Titans Go. They should just call the new DuckTales, comma, woohoo, exclamation point. DuckTales, woohoo. but uh but yeah, we're here to break down the season finale of Star vs. Force of Evil. Might just be the best episode of the series yet, Jacob. I like originally that title kind of for me went to Running with Scissors. Having said that, there's just so much going on in this episode, and it's all just so high stakes, and it makes my stomach churn watching it, and it's super emotional, and it's like a potent blend of like just the best and most emotional and relatable teenage drama mixed with like epic kind of like Dragon Ball Z style fight scenes and reveals, and oh my god, it's such a cool episode. It totally lived up to every expectation I had for it. Absolutely.
Heck yeah. When they hype it up, they certainly know how to deliver.
Right. Oh, man.
Yeah, so where do you want to start?
I was about to ask you the same thing, my friend.
Well, then maybe we should get the biggest. Let's start with the big things.
I mean, do you want to like start at the cliffhanger and work backwards? I don't know. I kind of feel like
not really. Like Toffee is back.
Yeah.
That's like one of the biggest things in this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, Toffee is back.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like it's crazy because his form is like growing out of Ludo. It's like
like when his arm, like even with the finger missing, grow into Ludo's.
Oh god, it's freaky. It's like Cronenberg body horror shit right there.
I was like, what the hell is he? It's almost like Toffee's almost like a parasite.
And yeah, I mean, we built up Toffee for a whole season, but Jacob, I mean, let's just get to this image right here. Hold on, let me go to it. Oh boy.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, this is definitely the best action scene the series has ever seen, in my opinion.
It's like the most high stakes it's ever been, too.
Yeah, absolutely. We get Moon Butterfly in a new form, like a totally like blue form. It's crazy.
And it includes Ludo, no less.
It includes Ludo in a body, and the important thing to remember, Jacob, is that Toffee is just absolutely destroying everyone. He literally murders the entire High Council. I mean, let's not leave them out of it. I mean, like, Omnitrix Prime just, like, goes in and Toffee finishes him with one blow. You know what I mean?
And the goat.
The goat is like the K2S2, the K2SO of these death scenes, man, because he is just like, he is giving his life force to everyone else. He knows that by doing this, it's going to zap him of his energy. I mean, my God, it's like, I kind of hope that this guy doesn't come back, because I know that we saw him, I know that we saw his ashes get scooped up into the horn, but
still, hypothetically gave his life so Moon could continue on.
I don't know. If it was me personally, I kind of hope that they just saved his ashes in his honor and he's really dead. I mean, that's what I would do with it. Because that would be like, that would truly add stakes to the battle. You know what I mean? It's like, that would mean like one of the most powerful and well-respected characters in the multiverse of the show is dead because of Toffee.
Yeah, it tells you that he means business.
Yeah, right? Oh my god. What do you think of I just love seeing all these different characters in action. Like early on when they invade the old when they invade Ludo's fortress and we see the rats gambling with the corn and having like
The corn.
corn eating contests and stuff like that.
The corn.
The corn, man.
There's
No,
the corn again.
but seriously, how awesome is that team up with like Hekapoo and the goat and Omnitrix Prime,
Romulus.
and Romulus. I know I was kind of talking some crap about Romulus, and I think he works better in a team episode than he does in a standalone episode with just himself. But having said that, like it kind of makes me look back on his episode, the one where we meet the Chancellor as well, and just kind of be like, okay, that is all building up to something. That is all building up to like this huge finale where we have all these high stakes players involved. And these high stakes players, I think, are going to be the status quo of the series going forward.
Yeah, and props to the animators too. I mean,
I mean, I think I hope, for example, that we're going to get to see a lot more of Hekapoo, and that we at least see some continuation of the Running with Scissors storyline in season 3.
that'd be quite interesting to see.
I really want it to happen. I love that episode.
Yep.
And like I said, I'm kind of like going through this episode. I kind of like mixing my opinions of the episode itself with some of my speculation about season 3. So excuse me if me hitting my points are kind of a little jumbled and all over the place. There's just a lot of stuff to take in with this.
And like I said, props to the animators, especially during the fight scene. I mean, they definitely know they definitely know how to dazzle.
Yeah, gorgeous stuff. Great lighting, great practical practical effects.
It's Flash meets substance.
Totally. Oh man, just the moon stuff alone in this episode would warrant just like the whole season finale just being centered on that. Anything else you have to say about Moon and the toffee reveal and everything before we get into the Starco side of things?
Not really. I mean, other than like, holy crap, Ludo's Toffee's a parasite.
Oh man, yeah. And of course his final words like, "Oh, I'll find your daughter because she owes me a finger," or something like that. She has my
it's like tell her. It's like tell her I'm coming for my.
Oh God, it's just like, oh, Michael C. Hall.
We love you, man.
Yeah, we love you, but goddamn, you're too good at playing a serial killer, Michael C. Hall.
Seriously. Well, kind of figures like in Dexter he plays a redeemable type of serial killer. Here we don't know. We have yet to see if he's redeemable or not. So,
I mean, I certainly think he's less redeemable than we've seen Ludo to be throughout the course of season 2.
Actually, let's talk about Ludo next. Like,
that's a good point. I was gonna say it'd probably be a shame to pass by him.
Yeah, so they said you actually don't see before he's taken over by Toffee. You actually like just most of the scene with him is just dialogue between him and Moon, and it's just like just those few lines of dialogue like put him in a whole new light almost.
And I truly think going forward, Ludo is just simply not going to be an antagonist. He had a plan this season and it failed because he kind of got overly cocky with Glosseric, and we saw what happened when he got overly cocky and he wanted to push the training on his spells, and that's what led him to failure. And so I think he's humbled himself, and I definitely think season 3, he's not going to be the antagonist at all. As a matter of fact, I think he might be working side by side with the butterflies. Could you imagine that, to try and take down Toffee?
Well, remember, Toffee's inside and he's basically controlling Ludo right now.
Yeah, but we'll see where they go with that, because I have a feeling that somehow, I mean, I don't know, this is just baseless speculation on my end, but I have a feeling if I were to speculate on where they're going with that, I would say perhaps Toffee is going to regenerate, like, once he gets his finger, maybe he'll sprout from the finger, you know what I mean?
But that actually raises the question, how is he able to do that to begin with?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of meta science behind it.
I mean, what I'm saying is, like, in the series of providing explanations, like how he was able to regrow his arm inside from Ludo. So, I mean, I mean, they never really give you the explanation other than like he was probably something to do with the wand.
Yeah,
Because
that
remember,
sure.
it like formed around the bones of his hand,
Of
which,
course, of
and then
course.
that's how he's able to use use the magic, which brings another oh shit moment. Toffee can use magic.
Yeah, Toffee can use magic, and he's like really, really skilled at it, and just like far beyond the level of dark magic that we've seen from someone like Star, who's just kind of like, Star is kind of like just barely got a handle on the dark magic thing, even though she's dipping her toe into it.
Yep.
Toffee, on the other hand, is like the Voldemort of dark magic.
Yeah. Yeah, but remember, this is like Ludo. He's like the whining, complaining villain from the first season is now almost an entirely sympathetic character
I
almost.
would say Ludo is entirely sympathetic at this point. Entirely sympathetic.
I mean, especially considering those scenes with his parents from the last
Mm-hmm.
episode. Like, you almost feel bad for the guy.
And I mean, look at me. I'm wearing a potato chip bag for a shirt. No, I'm not in a good place right now.
For corn's sake.
But I love it because throughout the whole season 2, they've managed to make him both super intimidating as a villain, and then
Something
go,
season one, something season one never managed to do.
of course, and then go the complete opposite direction with that. It's such good writing. It's such good writing.
Without even ruining his character, making it feel like a natural progression.
Oh, I
That's
love
the
it.
great thing about it.
Mhm. Okay, so let's hit on Starco, shall we?
Shall we?
Shall we? All right.
Yes, we shall.
Okay. So first of all, it's just like you feel the pain and the awkwardness every time these two are interacting in the episode. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I mean the writers truly do go out of their way in that regard to just beat it into your head.
Yeah, it's a completely understandable situation. I mean, it's been seen before, but the way they do it here just like makes it seem like yeah, I mean like they totally capture the awkwardness pretty well and like make it seem actually interesting instead of just like a forced cliche.
Sure, sure. Also, like props to the animators, props to whoever did the work on Jackie Lynn and her facial reactions throughout the episode, man. They are like some of the most subtle things I have ever seen in like televised animated programming. The way that she goes from like the super supportive girlfriend to absolutely heartbroken over the situation by the end of the episode, all while never saying a line of dialogue about how she's really feeling. Ah, so good. So good. Do you not agree?
I do agree.
Oh my god, it's just like your heart just breaks for Jackie Lynn. At the same time, I think most of us watching the show are kind of like Team Starco at heart. You know what I mean? So we do eventually want to see these kids get together, and Jackie Lynn is kind of like I mean, Jackie Lynn is a great character in her own right because she is kind of like the girlfriend you would want to have. She's super supportive. She's super upfront. She likes Marco for his flaws, and she doesn't want to try and change him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Star, it's like like we've been so invested in Star, and I don't know. This is just the reactions the episode. Apparently, the episode makes me into a 14-year-old girl watching Degrassi.
Makes me the same way. As you pointed out before, ship it like Amazon Prime.
Oh God.
I ship it hard.
Oh man.
I'll openly admit that I ship it.
Okay, let's talk about the one of the most amusing sidetracks in the finale, which is Oscar. Yeah,
Surprisingly, yes.
back to basically like showcase once and for all how much of a loser he is. So he drops out freshman year of high school to pursue his illustrious career in solo as a solo guitarist.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I think even Star realized that. I
Oh
think.
no, it's great because it's like I love what they do with this character because it is realistic and true to life. It's like he gets a haircut and suddenly all the cool things about him that Star thought she saw, she realizes were just very superficial and just very much based on the look and the attitude, and none of her affections for Oster were really real.
And she begins to realize that like maybe he's not so great after all. like even like him, even like her agreeing to him that spending time over the summer, even she seemed kind of like she was kind of forcing it out of herself.
Yeah, which is crazy because this time last season, she would have been just an absolute wreck over, over the idea of Oscar.
You've been all over it.
Like, hey, Star, I think we should spend the summer together. Wouldn't that be cool, Star?
You'd be like, take me now, Oscar.
Oh, God.
Like, take me.
Oh, yeah. So just the characters have just evolved to such a natural place where it's just like, it's such high stakes teenage relationship drama that it gets us two grown men really into it, really sucked in.
I'm 22 years old. I'm 22 years old, people.
Oh, God. So, all right. And then, of course, the big moment of the episode comes at the end when, Star comes back and she's like trying to force herself to talk to Jackie and Marco, but it's just not working.
When just she pulls Marco away for a moment, and she at first I'm kind of at first I was kind of glad the route they were taking, like she kind of told him that like no I do not. I mean that was totally something made up by the song, and I just want to spend time with my friend. That's all. I was like said I mean, they didn't get together, but she didn't admit it. But I'm okay. I'm okay with that ending. I mean, like if she's being true with herself, I understand with that. So I'd have personally been okay with her just at least talking it over with him.
Mm.
But then Moon came.
Oh, that's not the episode we get. That's not the ending we get. Oh, we get a bombshell.
I'll admit I would have been happy with that ending because it just seemed like it'd be a nice way to smooth things over for them.
Sure, but
then Moon came in.
The writers don't like to keep the status quo simple on this show, Jacob.
then Moon came in.
Oh man.
Yeah, she for the first time in a while, she actually stood up to her mother, and the scary part is her mother didn't even mind because she told her that Toffee was back.
Yeah, but then the even scarier part about that is that as soon as she hears that Toffee's back, it's like all her inhibitions just go out the window, and it's just like, okay, just give me 2 minutes to say goodbye. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then she doesn't have time to pull him away again, so she basically screams at Marco's
God, it's just a whole big public thing. Of course, Jackie's standing right there.
And then like after opening just like less than like 2 minutes ago, like saying like that song was wrong, and then she's like,
yep.
I do have a crush on you, Marco.
But I have to leave right now, and I might never see you again. And I won't live with myself if I don't tell you, so I'm telling you.
I'm sorry. Bye, everybody.
Oh God! And of course, Jacob. I'm sure you were doing the same thing. You were watching the timer on the video, and you were just like, "Oh my God! Don't end! And
the sad part is like Marco. At least he doesn't even get an explanation. He at least one. I mean, it's not known if he actually reciprocates it now. Most likely not. But he at least wants an explanation or to like actually say goodbye himself. But Star never gives him the chance. She just hurries up crying, runs up the stairs, and then the moment he gets into her room, the portal's closed, and the thing that really seals it, her tower disappears.
Yep. And then over the end credits, Jacob, probably the most artistic touch of the whole finale is instead of the whole, like, I think Earth is a pretty great place, we just get silence. And we just see the Diaz household unaffected by magic for the first time since the pilot episode. And it's haunting. It's absolutely haunting.
That's what sets it home. Like, oh God, things are actually very serious now.
But then, of course, on a light note, if you stay through the credits, it does end with a bit of a comic relief of Oster's guitar finally landing in the Diaz lawn.
Like, what do you mean it didn't go to Mars? I mean, that's basically what. I mean, that's one. That's pretty much. That's also one of the things that probably made Star realize that he probably wasn't that good. Like, because the whole Mars thing.
Right.
It's like you don't believe in me. Like, dude, she's just using common sense.
Okay, Jacob. So I think that about does it for season 2 of Star vs. Force of Evil. We got through a whole season together, man. How do you feel?
It was quite a ride, especially taking this entire month in.
Yeah, it was amazing. And of course, now we've got Milo Murphy's Law, which, of course, isn't as strongly built on like this epic storyline and character development and whatnot. But hey, Jacob, at the very least, at the end of March, we get the episode that we've anticipated since the pilot episode of Milo Murphy's Law.
The llama incident.
The llama incident. I love that that's the season finale of Milo Murphy's Law. And you know what? It gets me just excited enough to be like, all right, let's do it. Let's really dive into this show. So, folks, that's what we'll be doing on Tiki's Universe. Of course, Dragon and I will be doing the Tiger Philanthropist episode of Steven Universe, something that we've been hyped up on for like over a year since we heard about that episode title. And it's finally airing, folks. He's giving back. So all kinds of things happening on Tiki's Universe. Of course, Samurai Jack as well. I need to get started with the rewatch of that show. I have not really seen a lot of the original, so I really need to get my ass in gear for that one. Jacob, any parting thoughts for the season?
It's been quite a ride. Folks, we have no idea when the next season will be back.
Nope.
But it's bound to be quite an interesting ride, and I hope that nobody doesn't diminish the stuff this season's built up. But I put trust in, we should put trust in Darren and her crew to put us through quite another ride again.
All right. So, folks, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned next season when things get a little weird and a little wild yet again.